Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. This is for admitted students, for people who have been admitted to the Biomedical Engineering Master's Program here at the University of Southern California, Viterbi School of Engineering. My name is Maria, and I work for the Graduate Admissions and Recruitment Team. So, first, I want to just start off by saying, on behalf of all of us, congratulations on your admission and welcome to the Trojan family. We hope to be seeing you very soon on campus. We're just going to run through a brief overview about the next steps. And I'm also joined here today by our senior advisor from biomedical engineering and two of our current students from the biomedical engineering department, who I will introduce shortly as well. So let's get started. Okay, so you've been admitted. That was the biggest hurdle, and now you may be deciding whether or not you're going to attend USC this fall, which we hope that this webinar will help you to make that decision. So things that you might be considering when you're debating about the next step for grad school is, what are your career and academic goals for after graduation? Also, you've probably gotten admitted to other universities, probably amazing universities as well. And so you might want to consider the location, perhaps they're spread out around the world or around the US, and you're debating about where you should study in terms of what city you should be in. So we'll help to explain all of this about how USC fits in. We also are going to highlight our Trojan Network, that is our student and alumni network, and our research opportunities. You might want to consider what research opportunities are available at the institution that you will attend if that is something that is one of your goals as well. So here are a few facts about Viterbi. So the Viterbi School of Engineering, that is one of the 22 academic schools at USC, and it was named after Andrea Viterbi. He started the Viterbi algorithm. He founded Qualcomm, and he's an amazing engineer, and we named the school after him. So just to give you a little background about who he is, and Viterbi itself, the engineering school, has over 100,000 alumni worldwide. So the network is really strong. Lots of amazing people you can connect with. We are ranked number 20th of engineering schools, so it's obviously, a top-ranked research university with a huge annual research expenditure. The university is pouring a lot of money into research. We have over 200 tenure track faculty. The school itself was founded in 1905, and so it's been around for a long time. You can see our stats here. We have 69% male, 31% female. It's actually pretty high percentage of female engineers. We definitely want to grow that though. And we have applicants coming from over 113 countries. So you'll definitely meet people from all over the world. It's a really exciting place to study. And LA, of course, is one of the most diverse cities in the country as well. And so between being at USC and in Viterbi and in LA, you're going to be meeting people from literally everywhere. It's a really great place for making connections as well. And most of our students are on campus, although we do have a good portion of people that take the same exact courses that you take online, or they take them online as they're the same classes that you take in person. So you might be considering which path to go with that as well. So, of course, everybody knows Silicon Valley. It's famous for, tech and engineering. And, you might actually be from LA, but if you're not familiar with the LA landscape, here we have Silicon Beach. So, a lot of these companies that you see on the screen, you probably know that they're also in San Francisco and Silicon Valley, but we have them here in Silicon Beach as well, and that's our name for LA's version of Silicon Valley. Well, a lot of the same companies, as well as some companies that have their headquarters exclusively here in Los Angeles. So a lot of these companies found that, LA is a really inspiring place, not only to study, but to work. And I mean, you can work, steps away from the beach. It's pretty much perfect. And these companies are located conveniently not too far from the USC campus. And even on here, two of the research institutions that belong to USC, our Institute for Creative Technologies and our Information Sciences Institute. Those are USC facilities, so you might even have an opportunity to collaborate with them as well, and they're also right near the beach. So of course, obviously everybody knows LA has perfect weather. It has amazing marketing. You've been watching it in every movie and TV show your entire life. Okay, we have Hollywood, great, but we also have great jobs. So you can come and we have here, of course, USC has its own career center, but in addition to that, Viterbi students have access to the Viterbi Career Connections office, which you'll have access from literally now until even like your whole life as an alum as well. They have amazing programming, exclusive for engineering students, and you can connect with, alums, you can connect with our career center that's going to help you with any job prep that you can think of. We also have, both big and small companies coming to give talks, coming to recruit students from our career fairs that we have twice a year. And so there's really so many networking opportunities. The Trojan Network, I mean, we're going to talk about that a lot. You're going to hear about that a lot, like throughout your time at USC. It really is powerful. I hear so many times from students and alums making connections through the Trojan Network and getting hired by fellow USC alumni. And so it's definitely something that is a huge asset to studying at USC. Another great thing is that you can do internships while you're in school. Being here in the second largest city in the country with so many engineering opportunities, you don't have to leave, you don't have to wait till the summer to do an internship necessarily. And unless that's part of your international student visa restriction, but otherwise, like you can do these internships while you're in school and you can make connections while you're in school. So that's a really exciting part about being here in a major metropolitan area. Okay, so the next steps are to explore in-person and virtual admitted student events. So welcome, you're in one of these admitted student events right now, but we are going to be doing them in person as well. We've already started. So we're hosting in-person admitted student events around the world. So we're going to be having them in India this month, also in East Asia, and all over North America, East, West, Midwest, South, and also Canada. So scan the QR code here and also check your email. We'll be sending updates. Hope to meet you in person. And maybe we'll even see you at one of these events. That would be great. And you can also attend our virtual coffee chats with our student ambassadors and learn more on this page and about all of the resources that can help you with the next steps. And then, of course, the most important part of deciding to be a Trojan is to submit your statement of intent. So after you submit your statement of intent, once you're absolutely sure that you will be attending USC, then you unlock all of these exciting features. If you're an international student, you can request your I-20. If you're already an international student here in the US, then you can start the transfer process of transferring your I-20. You will initiate the visa process. You will access pre-orientation resources. If you're interested, you can join the Viterbi mentorship program. Connect with your department through academic webinars. That's exactly what we're doing right now. And you can explore and secure housing options. Okay, so that is the general rundown about the next steps. And we're going to dig deeper into the biomedical engineering department. So first, I'm going to introduce you to William Yang. He is our senior advisor, and he will be someone that you'll meet when you become a student at USC, and you'll definitely get to know him because he'll be helping you with all of your advising duty throughout your time as a student. And then we also have Julia here. She is studying her master's in biomedical engineering. And we have Labiba here as well, and she's studying medical devices and diagnostic engineering. So they're both students in the biomedical engineering department, and you'll be hearing from them very shortly. So I'm going to now hand it over to William to share his slides, and he'll give the overview about the biomedical department.
Thank you, Maria. Okay, I want to share my screen right now. Let me see if it works. Can everyone see my screen? Perfect. Well, welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you're at in the world. We are so nice that you can join us today. Again, my name is William. I am the senior advisor here at Biomedical Engineering, and I've been here. A little background information. I've been here about 7 years, a little over 7 years. I did come to USC for one of my masters. I guess I can give a quick background information about who I am. I went to UC Riverside, the University of California, Riverside, for my bachelor's degree in biological sciences and my first master's in bioengineering, and then went to the University of Wisconsin Platteville to get my master's in project management. And then, if that's not enough, I decided to apply to the law school and got a master's degree in dispute resolution. Where I'm currently at now, I'm working on my PhD at the University of Cumberland in leadership and conflict resolution. Hopefully, one day I will be able to become like a part-time or adjunct professor here on campus at USC. Enough about me. Do I want to have my our two students here also kind of briefly give themselves like a introduction as well? Yeah, either Julia or Labiba, if you want to unmute yourself and just give a brief introduction of who you are, where you're from, and what year are you in the program.
Okay, I'm Julia. I'm a first year master's student here at USC. I'm studying biomedical engineering and I'm from Italy.
Awesome.
Hi everyone, my name is Labiba. I'm a second year medical device and diagnostic engineering student, also known as MDDE, and I am from Los Angeles.
Yay! So I guess we're all kind of almost like local here. We love it. We have students representing from different parts of the country, of the world as well. We have a lot of students internationally who study with us, and then we can go deeper in why they chose to choose USC here. But we're going to a little deeper into who we are. Oh, there you are. So our department actually started as not its own entity yet. It started as a specialization at the electrical engineering department in the 1960s. Throughout the years, over then, it grew in popularity. It just became its own. Things started growing. It started a lot of doctors, a lot of scientists started developing more devices in the healthcare world. So it only makes sense that it grew and became its own entity in the 70s. Our USC program department is one of the actually second oldest biomedical engineering program in the West Hemisphere or Western side of the United States. We currently have two master's programs. We used to have four, but we had to make some improvement and adjustment. We're going to have some exciting new programs offering for our students. That's not listed here. Currently, we have about 140 master's students. Altogether, we have about 558 students, where we include about 158 PhD students and 260 undergraduate students. The new exciting programs that we have actually going to start rolling out in the fall is certificates in medical imaging, imaging informatics, and biomedical data analytics. What does that mean for you? So while you're studying a master's degree here at USC, either one a master's in biomedical engineering or a master's in medical devices or diagnostic engineering, you have the opportunity to pick up a certificate without any additional costs. It serves like a minor. So that maybe if you are interested in medical imaging, imaging informatics, or biomedical data analytics, you can pick up the extra certificate along the way with your master's degree completely free. But obviously, just talk with me first or your designated advisor. We can go over the program and your timeline to see if this is the right fit for you. In our department, we have two chairs. What you see on our screen is Dr. Peter Wang. He's actually our main chair who was supposed to present today, and unfortunately, he can't be because of time differences. He is actually at a major conference in Germany right now. So he did ask me to help present on his behalf, and I'd be always more than happy to represent our department. Dr. Peter Wang joined us not just a few years ago, a little over 3 years ago, and he's been pushing us to expand and do a lot of creativity and innovation in our department. Moving forward, our department will be trying to make more partnership and collaboration with the Keck School of Medicine, which that means that it gives our students more opportunity to conduct research in different specializations. So he is kind of spearheading all these new programs, all these new pathways to ensure that our students have access to medical world in a more sufficient manner, with more opportunities to grow professionally and personally. Just a quick more introduction about the BME Student Affairs staff. So I am the Department Lead Student Services Senior Advisor, but we also have a designated Master's Advisor, Lillian Leung, who is at the Viterbi office, who also advised the pre-engineering students. So moving forward, you have access to myself and Lillian in terms of advising. I oversee all programs, including certificate programs, the minors, bachelor's, master's, and PhD. But as you have Lillian to also help facilitate other conversation as needed. So essentially, you have two advisors. I am a trained life coach, academic coach, and a career coach. So a lot of times students do meet with me beyond the academics to talk about life. What do we move on from here? How do we draft up your goals, your long-term goals, your short-term goals? What do you need? What's missing in your on resume? How do we get to your dream job? And we'll try our best to connect you to professionals and other relatable resources in order to achieve your personal goals. So a quick overview of the master's program here at USC. So again, we have two, the General BME Master's, which requires 28 units. This is one of our most popular programs because it allows you to choose your specialization. Although the specializations are not going to be explicitly listed on your transcript or your diploma, but it allows you to facilitate a better conversation when you choose a certain special area you want to study in. And then when you interview, it gives you some sort of like more in-depth knowledge. I think I did a little side story when I got my master's in bioengineering. I didn't really have an advisor at my other university where to tell me what we're missing, what I needed to have on my record in order to get a job. So I did struggle for about 3 years to get into finally the industry role as a biochemical engineer. But what I learned, I try to translate it and transfer it to our students here to prepare them for the world. As an undergraduate student, you have already taken a lot of classes that you may or may not use. As a master's student, I focus more on your career development. So I like to review student resume and then coach them and do mock interviews to see where the missing gaps are. So if you are intended to go into industry and you want to go into, let's say, process engineer, number one thing I always tell my students, do you have a sufficient knowledge in project management? Do you have sufficient knowledge in medical product regulation? Where are we going with this? What do we need to do? How do we bridge this gap to ensure that you have a greater competition and leverage in the real world? So we do a lot of holistic approach in terms of helping students develop professionally. Now, same thing as our second master's degree in medical device and diagnostic engineering program, that's more like a cohort program. There is a capstone project that you're required to do that's more hands-on to working with medical devices. And in a little bit, I would like to hear from Julia and Labiba of their experience because we did recently also improve and renovated both programs to make sure that our students are taking classes are relevant to the needs in their career of pursuit. Okay. So the general academic USC policy here, obviously, students would have to maintain a 3.0 in all semesters. It's okay. We understand sometimes life happens as we grow older. Things happen. Sometimes your GPA might fall a little below 3.0. That's okay. We'll work with you. We believe that we believe in working. Sometimes things just happen in strange ways, but we're here to help you move forward. And a lot of students do. Our students have a 100% graduation rate because they are very open with us in terms of what they need and and then let us know early so we can get you to the right professionals or resources to really move forward. Students must enroll in a minimum of 1 unit per semester, fall and spring. Summer is optional. And students using financial aid or having financial aid, you are required to register at least 4 units a semester because 8 units is full-time as a master's student in the fall and spring. A lot of times students don't take classes in the summer because it can be a little expensive because you will be assessed at I believe a slightly higher rate because of the summer. And also we don't offer any BME courses in the summer, so it only makes sense to take in the fall and spring. During the first semester, I will encourage students to start reviewing their resume and cover letter because when that October, the first week of October comes, that's when you start applying and start looking for internships. Even before that, when if you do choose coming to USC at orientation, I will emphasize, please start looking at research possibilities here at campus. It could be at Keck School of Medicine or a different hospital setting. You want to start capturing all these extracurricular research opportunities on your resume, so when you apply for internships, that's a conversation you can have to leverage to really drive yourself forward in obtaining the internship that you want to go into. And then you have 5 years to complete your program. So a lot of students, I have students many students who are dense students, meaning they are studying overseas, abroad, or far away from Los Angeles, or even sometimes they're nearby. But because they work full-time, they only take 1 class per year or 1 class per semester, and they're still able to finish within 3 years. So And there's also I know all the options where sometimes you may need to take a break. Many of our students they have kids, they have something that goes on promotion, they're traveling for work. Sometimes they might need to go on a leave of absence, and we also do understand that we get busy. It's a professional world, and we will just communicate with us, and we'll make accommodations in terms of maybe you need to go on a leave of absence for one semester, or we can find a way that works best for you in terms of working around your schedule. Okay, and one great thing about our master's program here, traditionally, a lot of master's program around the world, you either have to complete a master's thesis, meaning require heavy research, or you will have to complete a comprehensive exam at the very end of your degree program. I actually went through that. It was 2 days of 6 hours exams to get your master's degree. It was so much. I was like, because you have to finish your classes, you have to do well, and then you have to take those kind of similar final exam, but it's all free response all over again for 2 days straight, and just in order to obtain a degree. It was a lot. I'm still traumatized from a master's degree program, so I'm so glad that we got rid of that in the 80s. Okay, so that's one great thing, is that there's no comprehensive exam. All you need to do is do well, maintain a 3.0 GPA, pass all your classes, and you will obtain your degree. Okay, so research at BME is very interdisciplinary, meaning it could be anywhere, right? You can study with electrical engineering faculty member. You can study with mechanical engineering major. I have students who've done research with aerospace, and now they're working at JPL and NASA. I have students working at Amazon, Google. So really, there's no limitation who this degree can tell you what you can do. Again, we try to encourage students to think outside of the box. Biomedical engineering is, yes, it is a niche field, but all the engineering components that you learn and elements and aspects you learn from this degree program is transferable to other degrees and other units as well. So it depends on your interest. It's always a good conversation to have, or at least when I talk to master's students, undergrads, and PhDs, the first question to ask, what do you want to do after you leave USC? How do we get there? We start building from the ground up rather than just, let's take classes and then hope for the best, we get a job after you graduate. I like to work backwards. Let's look at different jobs right now. What are the qualifications? What is needed? What don't you have? What we can prepare on right now? What industrial folks that we should bring in to help you really talk about your dream, your goals? How do we get there? So I like to learn about your dream holistically at the very beginning, at least as a department as well. Okay? And get involved. I think the best way, especially when you're here at USC, I call it the Disneyland of universities, because there's just so many amounts of just different things you can get involved with. There's basket weaving, which is kind of crazy. I thought that was made up, but they actually have it here. They have so many things you can really disconnect or decompress when you're studying. Just so many things you can do. You can join volunteer groups. That's within the realms of what your career or interests are. Utilize resources. You're a student here. They will provide you, if there's something that we don't offer, let us know. Maybe we can find a way to get it funded or created for you. It's many ways to really, really grow and push you to your limits, get you out of your comfort zone to really grow professionally and personally. In our department, there's two main student organizations that many graduate students join. Is the graduate students of biomedical engineering, short for, or the acronym form is GSBME. And then the student government, similar to many United States high school like ASB, but we have one that's called VGSA, which is Viterbi Graduate Student Association, where you will collectively work with other academic units in Viterbi. And there's other groups as well, and many students get super involved. I have students who are in ballroom dancing, we have students in the marching band, we have students in the orchestra. We're everywhere. BME students are very well versed, and they get really involved in the community, and we love that. And we try to drive that in our students to make sure that they gain the best experience, not only academically, but just pursuing your own interests while you're here. At the end of the day, you're still in LA. There's so much happening. The SAG Awards just happened a few days ago down the street from us. Okay. Now we're going to go over some frequently asked questions. Many students do ask, can I transfer units to my degree? So a lot of times students may have taken 1 or 2 courses from open campus, from other universities, or taking certain graduate level courses during undergrad career times. So a lot of times it's no, unfortunately we cannot allow you to transfer credits from another university, but we can waive certain prerequisites in terms of enrolling in certain classes. Many students do ask, can I change my major within BME later on? Let's say I started with Masters of Biomedical Engineering, but I kind of didn't like it. Can I switch to the medical devices one? It's possible, but we do ask students to stay in one semester in that initial major, and then if you really truly decide you want to switch to that other major, then we can do it simply by an email, and we can do it internally. Another question that students quite frequently ask is, can I take courses in other departments? Yes. So the specializations or the technical electives, I do encourage students to take and explore what's missing on your resume. Essentially, going back to what I said earlier, project management and medical product regulation. If you aim towards to go into industry, those are the two courses I always recommend that's outside of BME. And the last question that a lot of students do ask is, will I automatically be guaranteed admission into the PhD program? I know a lot of students who did not initially get admitted to a PhD program at USC or somewhere else where they think getting a master's degree would propel them. Everyone's treated equally. It does not guarantee there's no direct bridge program that takes you into the PhD program completely just directly. Everyone has to apply just like a new applicant. But because you have completed all the courses, so when you get into a PhD program, you are no longer required to take any more classes. So there are some pros and cons, but it's not a guarantee. It does help facilitate, maybe a better mechanism that you have lesser course load, but there's no guarantee admission into a PhD program. So what to expect if you decide to enroll with them? So there's a BME department academic webinar usually held in June to get you more familiar with our program, what to expect the next steps during the period in the summer before fall begins, meeting your advisor to talk about classes so we can get to know you better, again, planning your career choices, your goals and stuff like that. And then orientation is usually a few days or week before classes begin in August. That's when everyone moves in and then gets acquainted and acclimated with the university and where the classes are located. This is where we host a lot of on-campus event, usually during the welcome week, so you can get familiar with who we are and what we do, how to ask questions, and find your way around and navigating the campus. And at the end of the day, happiness and success is throughout your master's program. This is where you really, really learn to grow even more. Some students think they are already done growing in their undergrad. I know it can be traumatizing, or you had a great experience at undergrad. But moving forward, in the graduate school, it's a different world. This is where you're going to start seeing more different things, be inspired by your colleagues, inspired by a different generation. It's really, I had a great time. I think I had a better time in grad school than actually undergrad. Undergrad was a lot for me. It was very intense because I came from a quarter system. Being at the semester system, it just really gives me time to breathe, take my time to really get immersed in all the things I like to do in terms of my side hobbies. Okay, so more communication will come out to our newly admitted students or who are going to commit to us more later on throughout this semester, and also as well during the summer. All right, now I would like to leave time for some questions, or anyone have any questions or anything like that before I jump into the panel. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? Feel free to put it in the chat box or unmute yourself. I'll be more than happy to address any questions right now. Julia or Labiba, do you have any questions? Pretending you're like a newly admitted student and haven't decided to come to USC, what would you ask that you were not able to ask years ago or before you started here? What are some questions? Okay, I can ramble. I do have a list of questions. Let me bring it up too. Okay, let's see. I guess first for either Julia or Labiba, what are classes like? How demanding is the coursework? Just unmute yourself and then start yapping.
Sounds good. I could take this one. But yeah, for your first semester, I was recommended to just take two classes just to get a sense of what the course load would be like. And then afterwards, I ended up taking three, and then I realized this was doable. And so far, like three's been a pretty good course load, I would say.
That's great. How was your experience, Julia?
Uh, I I had like mainly the same experience. I took two classes the first semester, and I'm taking three this semester. But yeah, it's pretty doable. The class size is pretty small, so like you can engage pretty well with the professor and your classmates. And yeah, I mean like it's a master's program, so of course it's demanding, but yeah, for sure it's doable.
Yeah, to continue from what you said, mingling with your classmates, how much interaction do you have with other students in your classes?
It happens that we are the same people in multiple classes, so we get to know each other pretty well. So like I know their names, and yeah, we also do a lot of group projects, so you really get to know the other people.
Piggybacking off of that, MDDE is a very small program, so I know pretty much everyone in my cohort. We like hang out together. It's a lot of fun.
No, that's great to hear. Now, how can students, I guess a question for both of you can jump in at any time. How can students get involved in or connected to the industry during the program? If you had gotten the opportunity to meet with industry folks, can you share some like personal experiences, like internships or events that you have experienced here at USC?
I would say that the best way I think is the career fair happening both in fall and spring. It's a good opportunity both to network with industrials, but also to get maybe not internship, but like interviews for sure. And then if it goes well, then also maybe an internship or a full-time position.
Yeah, that's great.
No, yeah. So I actually got my internship from a former USC alumni. So I didn't meet them at a career fair. I actually knew them outside of school, but they were the one that actually influenced me to take this program. And they introduced me to something called Viterbi Trek, and they just recommended going to Viterbi Trek, which is this company site visit. So for one day, you visit to medical device companies or biotech companies for the day, and you just get an introduction to how the company is like, and also just an insider knowledge on their recruiting process. And it was great. It was really an amazing experience. And yeah.
No, that's I love these. I love that. I love your experiences. Now, are you both involved in any clubs or organization on campus? Besides the one at BME, are there any special clubs or fun things you guys are doing outside of BME?
I'm currently in a club, Society of Women Engineers.
Oh, very cool.
I'm a graduate ambassador there,
Oh,
and
cool.
I'm also involved in research labs.
Oh, can you elaborate which lab are you, or what type of
Yeah,
research
of
are you
course.
working on?
I'm actually working in two research labs for now. One of them is at Marshall, but it's more for
Okay.
the operational side, so I'm more like a project manager there.
Oh, very cool.
And then I'm in Valero Lab. Um,
Oh, cool.
yeah, we do research about neuromuscular systems and neuromechanics.
Oh, that's super cool. Oh my gosh, I didn't know you're in that lab. That big lab. It's a big lab. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I mean, he cranks out a lot of publications. That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's great to hear. Labiba?
So at the moment, I'm not really involved in anything outside of Viterbi Student Graduate Ambassadors because it is my last semester and I am also working
Oh,
full time.
oh.
I transitioned from my internship to a full-time offer, so it's kind of just like balancing school and work right now.
That was my next question. How do you do that? How do you balance your schoolwork with other aspects of your life?
It's definitely difficult because I lose a lot of hours in the day just like working and then I have to go home and then my thought process is kind of just like, I want to sleep. I want to
Yes.
rest. But I have to remind myself that I'm still a student, so
Yeah.
I also have like group projects and I can't let my group members down and there's uh certain responsibilities I have there too. So it's a it was hard in the beginning, but now I'm kind of getting into, I guess, the way of things, so it's gotten easier.
No, thank you for that. That's it's a learning curve for everyone. It's I call it adulting, right? It does take some time to adjust to like different chapters of life, but it's good. It's good change. It's good change. You're growing professionally and personally. Now, next question is housing and campus life. So when you guys first started here, how did you find your housing and roommates? Or are there any tips about housing? I know it can be a little demanding, especially at
I
USC.
I think I was very lucky. Personally, I went on Instagram and I reached out to some girls that were following the Viterbi page on Instagram,
Mhm.
and one of them just happened to have a free room in their house, so
Oh,
that's how I found my
yay!
apartment off campus.
Labiba?
Unfortunately, I can't answer the question because I am a commuter
Uh-huh.
student, so
Oh, that's great. No, that's good. We have students from everywhere. That's I love that. I like that. No, how long should commute? Mind me asking.
on a good traffic day, like 45 minutes.
That's my commute too. That's my commute too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I love it because I turn on the radio, listen to music. It's like I'm just driving. Like,
Same,
yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes I
It's a
doze off.
lot
Like,
of
oh wait, I need to
fun.
drive to work. That's awesome. Yeah, a lot of students do commute, especially if they work full time. It's doable. It's definitely doable. It's fun. It's an experience every day. I think, I love driving. I like to see. I like to be mingled in, interacting with just humans in general, right? Sometimes I just get angry, start honking at people for no reason, but hey, it's a fun time. How do you guys feel about the surrounding community around USC? I know that's another great question that many students do ask. Like, they hear rumors. Is it safe? Do you feel safe around campus?
I haven't had any problem around campus, luckily. But it's also like I feel like it's pretty safe if like you don't go out at night, of course, and you use the resources like free lift and BS and things like that. But just you have to be careful, of course, but like in every city.
Yeah.
No, I would agree. It's just the same everywhere. Like, just take advantage of all the resources that USC provides you. For example, the DPS zone after I believe like 8 p.m. is when they start offering lifts if you're within, I believe, like a
Yeah,
mile or
7.
so radius. Yeah, there's like a certain radius limit.
Yeah.
But yeah, me personally, I haven't had any issues. I love LA.
Yes. Something about being a USC student, you get free lift within the 2 mile, I think 1 mile radius, and you get free HBO Max too. So you can like be on your lift watching HBO Max on your ride home for 2 minutes or something. That's great. That's great. Other question that I may let me see what I have a list of questions I want to go through. I guess what advice would you give future Viterbi students?
Mm, I would say that you have to take advantage of all the resources that USC has to offer and make the best of your time here. Because it goes past like pretty fast, and I feel like I've just got here, but it's already my second semester,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm involved in so many things, and I'm very like proud of it.
Yeah.
No, definitely take advantage of every single networking opportunity that you can get. Like any clubs. Sometimes the best networking events are honestly just like mingling with your classmates because that you are building your future network like right now. So you never know when like a future classmate might end up becoming your future coworker. So yeah, I definitely agree about that.
Yeah. Two more questions. What is your favorite memory so far being at USC?
Um, I can pick one actually. There are so many already.
Yeah.
But I would say that the first week here was really impactful for me, especially orientation. It's when you start realizing that you just took the big leap and you're here starting a new chapter of your life. But also, I don't know, also ma many classes gave us great memories. For example, I took one class and we made a group project and we were able to submit an abstract and we were accepted to the conference. So like it's gonna be really nice.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, congrats. Put that on your
Thank
resume.
you.
Put that on your resume. Yeah.
Honestly, I love that Julia said that orientation was her favorite because I was actually her
Yeah.
Beagle. So and honestly, being a Beagle and just meeting a bunch of people at orientation was one of my favorite experiences because I get to see like the campus alive and just everyone and everyone's so excited. It's great.
Yeah. And the last question. What is your favorite school tradition? Because USC has over 100 years of tradition. What is your favorite one besides the fight off?
My, okay. My favorite is probably uh tailgate and football games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely agree. The football games, when everyone walks towards the Coliseum and they're all kicking like that one. and like I don't know what it is, but we're all kicking it for good luck. So I do it too.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you all for answering all the questions. Do you guys have any parting words or any things you want to comment on that I have not addressed or talked about?
Honestly, no. I feel like you covered it all, but fight on, everyone, and I
Yeah.
hope you enjoy.
Yeah, if you have any questions too, I mean, I oversee all the graduate programs in the department lead for advising, but the designated advisor is also Lillian Lung. She's also at the VASE office. She also advises pre-engineering students. Feel free to contact me or Lillian. I guess when you start here, you will if you do commit to USC, we'll work with Lillian. But even prior to coming to USC, if you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to meet with you one on one to talk more things in detail in regards to if this is a real school for you. I'm not here to convince you to come here, but I want to provide you with all the information. I will try to be as transparent as possible and give you all the information that you need so you can make that informed decision. So you're not just coming to USC just for the branding, but you want to ask questions to help you facilitate a better thinking in terms of, will this school allow me to do this? Will I be able to do this? Is it possible I can achieve this? Okay, so again, nice to speak with all of you. I'm gonna pass the mic back to Maria, and I'll be hanging around to answer any other questions. Feel free to chat in the box if you guys have any questions.
Well,
All right,
thanks
perfect.
everyone again so much for attending or for watching this recording. And thank you so much to William, Julia, and Labiba for all of sharing all of your great insight. There is another question in the Q&A, and so this is actually a great question for William. How popular is the thesis route in the BME program, and what's the best way to connect with the faculty advisor for this?
I love that question. I think I pushed for that when I started working here. I think only like few students were interested because it's a lot of work balancing work and then doing research on the side. And I want to say a good handful of students are now pursuing a research or interested in getting a thesis. So that's something I would like to. I guess talk briefly about. So the first year, it's your moral of our first semester. It's your exploratory semester. This is where you start cold emailing professors, and it will connect you with a certain faculty member or even my PhD student to talk about your research goals and see if it's even possible to do certain type of research. If it goes well, you start volunteering in that lab for the first year. And then by summer, that's when you fill out the paperwork to really secure the master's thesis portion, because you have to register certain courses that will count towards your technical electives. But those courses is what you need to do and complete to fulfill the master's thesis requirement. So it really depends on the availability in that lab and if it aligns with your research goals and the faculty advisor as well. So we can have a conversation. Send me an email. My email is kind of crazy at the moment, but to say, hey, I'm a newly admitted student. I'm interested in looking into research. Can we meet to talk more about my options? I'd be more than happy to do so.
Thanks, William. And then I don't know if you have anything to add. There was a question from earlier, and just because you're also a musician, I thought you might have some
Yeah.
insight on this. Brian was asking, will I be able to take a half credit or one credit piano lessons at the USC Music School while in the BME program?
Of course. I mean, I always welcome students to take classes that help them further develop their skill sets. Yes, students obviously it's going to be part of your tuition. Yes, you are allowed to take classes to enhance your musician skills. I mean, when I was doing my master's at the law school, I joined the marching band. It was pretty fun. Anything is possible here at USC.
Yes, thank you so much, William. And just for everybody here, I also included a few links in the chat and you can see them. So we have the next steps for admitted students that you can review all the information that I went over in the slides and more. And then I linked to our chat with student ambassadors so you can continue your conversation with Julia and Labiba or anybody else that's on our student ambassador team. And also, don't forget to sign up for any of our admitted student events if we happen to be coming to your city. And I have our contact information in the chat as well, so feel free to email us there. I check that email every day, and I'll be happy to connect with you. And as William said, we know you have choices. We know you've probably been admitted elsewhere as well, but we do hope you to see you at USC. But definitely, consider making the best choice for yourself. And hopefully we'll see you on campus. And with that said, fight on.